if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me tell you about it. It's free, which is amazing. And there are these really cool creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. Anchor will even distribute your podcast for you, so it's easy to be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you get podcasts. And you get to make money with no minimum listenership, which is really cool. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started right away. Yoga teachers, mindfulness leaders, and energy workers, are you ready to stop side hustling and start making an income doing what you love? Welcome to the Marketing Off the Mat podcast. Every Tuesday and Thursday, we'll dive into conversations with successful creatives in wellness, business, marketing, and more to uncover practical methods to take you from A to B and have some fun along the way. My name is Jessica Cross, and I'm so excited to be here with you. Let's dive in. There, welcome back to another episode. It's Jess, and this is Marketing Off the Mat. I hope this finds you well today and lifts you up in a way that inspires and kind of gets you moving. I had something on my heart today that I really wanted to share, and oddly enough, and maybe it's not odd to you, but this idea came to me when I was on the treadmill. So in addition to being a yoga teacher, meditation and sound teacher, I love to run. And that's a newish thing for me, aside from the forced running that goes with public school education and a bit there in college as well. This is something I picked up in 2020 as one of my quarantine habits or quarantine activities. And so I'm on the treadmill today. And I don't know about you, if you've ever checked the Peloton app out. This is not a sponsored episode, by the way, but I'm on the treadmill and I'm listening to one of my favorite instructors. Her name is Selena Samuela. And she is talking about this idea of the ability to move our bodies is not a burden, it's a blessing. And that brought me back to a whole nother place where I was 6-ish years ago when I was signing up for my yoga teacher training. And this idea of it's not a burden, it's a blessing made so much sense to me. It's almost as if it came full circle. And of course, moving our bodies in our classes and in other modalities is of course a blessing. We're able to move in some way, be it whatever that looks like. Is it running? Is it chair yoga? And all those spectrum in between. But when I thought of this idea of it being a burden and not a blessing, I reminded myself of when I was signing up for my first teacher training. And I remember being told by, I believe, the assistant in the training that I took that it's a double-edged sword to gather this knowledge and be immersed in the world of yoga. And I didn't quite understand what that meant. But as you go through your teacher training, you find other ways of being, you find out more about yourself. When you come out the other side, you can't go back. It's this idea of not being able to go back to sleep, not being able to go back into this place of unawareness. And it was something that kind of struck me when the assistant said this to me. I was like, oh, okay. I'm not sure what that means, but I will file it away. And I think, after my 200 hour, I totally got that. And there was this almost idea of strife between who I was before and who I was after teacher training, and this friction almost. And I finally got it. I finally got what this double-edged sword concept that she was talking about meant is, we see things through a new lens, or we've cleaned the window or shined the mirror, and we can see more clearly. We can see our habits. We can see the situations, the relationships that we're in and how they're supporting us. And I would like to flip that idea about it being a double-edged sword and that sounding like a negative concept, because as I was reminded on the treadmill today, it's not a burden. It's a blessing. It's a blessing to be able to look at our lives and our relationships and our ways of being in our businesses, in everyday conversations with friends, with our families. It's not a burden to have this almost sixth sense, this awareness that we didn't have, or we did have, we uncovered through this process of yoga. And, it's not a bad thing to want more from your life. Embrace the idea of wanting to better yourself, to reach more people, to serve at a higher way. It's not the double-edged sword. It's the almost embracing this opening your palms and saying, yes, like I'm here to serve. I'm here to step into my business so I can provide a transformation for more people, because I want people to feel the way that I feel. I want people to be able to clean their mirror and see more clearly. So that's what I have for you today. If you're just come out of a teacher training, or it's been many years, you probably have some sort of concept, if it's not the exact language of this double-edged sword, of knowing too much. I would like to just pose it to you today, is seeing it as not a burden, but a blessing. We get to look at our lives through a fresh lens. We get to approach things in a way that maybe we wouldn't have even considered in years past, or in the pre-yoga times in our lives. So whether it's looking at your business, or maybe you're in this side hustle phase where you're working super hard in your 9 to 5 and you're teaching at night, you're teaching on the weekends, 7 days a week. I've been there, and I want to offer this concept of looking at this friction, this looking at your life in a different way, approaching your business from the mindset of CEO as not a burden, but a blessing. So that's what I have for you today. I hope that it resonates. I would love to hear what you think. You can send me a DM on Instagram. I'm at jessicacross.co. I love to talk about this stuff. I would love to chat with you too, if this is something that resonates. So I hope you have an awesome day. Here's to seeing things through that cleaned mirror, that cleaned window, with fresh eyes, and remembering that it's a blessing. Talk soon. Thanks for listening to the Marketing Off the Mat podcast. I love hanging with you as we figure this thing out together. Do you have an idea or something to share with me? Send me a DM on Instagram at jessicacross.co and let me know what's on your mind. I'd be so grateful if you shared this with someone who could use this episode. And if you get a chance, please rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Catch you on the next episode. See ya.